Promised to do to our listeners earlier today, I sent out an update.
Free Talk Live host Ian Freeman has put out a request for more FIJA activism in New Hampshire, and it looks like he's getting his way. FIJA is the Fully Informed Jury Association.
Hi, sir. Would you like some information on jurors' rights?
Unofficial FIJA activists are seen here in front of the Cheshire County Courthouse in Keene. What they do is simply hand pamphlets to people informing them of their rights as jurors. This is something you cannot do in a courtroom unless you want to be thrown in jail or thrown out of the courtroom. Anyway, there's plenty of FIJA activism in Keene, but it's been lacking in other parts of New Hampshire.
Well, I called earlier today and I left him a voicemail.
So this man, a recent immigrant to New Hampshire, made a trip to Hillsborough Superior Court in Manchester, New Hampshire. He calls himself Big Mike, and he's been in state less than a week. Here is the interesting report he filed from his mostly unsuccessful attempts to get information at Hillsborough Superior Court. Basically, apparently he was just trying to find out when jury selection occurs, so FIJA activists could be outside at the time. Well, back when I was at this FIJA demonstration in 2008, it was easy to determine what day the jurors would be selected. The information was posted on the internet. But now that may have changed. Big Mike, writing on August 21st, 2009, says, quote, I stopped by the Hillsborough Superior Court today in downtown Manchester to inquire about the jury cases being tried in Nashua now rather than Manch. Going through security, I asked one of the guards what was happening with the building itself, and he said they'll be there until the first of the year. Then the city will begin the process of having asbestos removed, which they were told would take a year, but he says, it'll probably take 2 or 3. I joked and asked him if I need to get a respirator to conduct my business. He laughed and said, nobody's died yet. Good guys. My next encounter started okay with an exchange of pleasantries with a receptionist in the clerk's office, and it gradually went downhill after saying hello. I asked if they were still performing jury trials in that location, or had they moved to Nashua already. With hesitation and a look of confusion, she said they were still happening there to her knowledge. I asked if there was a way to find out when jury selection day took place, and she said it's random. I asked if that information was posted online or made available in some way. Bureaucrat defensive mode activated. I'm uncomfortable answering that. What's this in regard to? She replies. I tell her that there will be a group of people showing up on those days to perform an outreach service for potential jurors. We'll be standing around the courthouse distributing pamphlets. She proceeds to tell me I'll have to talk to the jury clerk, who won't be available until Monday morning. I ask for the jury clerk's name, and she says just ask for the jury clerk. I was polite. I didn't allow something so trivial to get me frustrated, but I have a feeling this may escalate in order to get anything from them. Maybe not. I'll call on Monday. If they refuse to answer my questions and provide me with information I'm looking for, we may have to round up the Manch Vegas posse and run up there on Tuesday with smiles and video cameras, and prepared to deliver devastatingly comfortable hugs. Unquote. So that's the end of Big Mike's report from his information-gathering attempt at Hillsborough Superior Court. Now, it's possible that a failure of the court to answer these kinds of questions may be a violation of the Freedom of Information Act, or it could be a violation of, I can't remember the exact statute, 92:2, I think they call it, in New Hampshire law, which is... it's an openness statute. I'm not sure if it applies to courts or not. It may just be for open meetings. But regardless of what the law is, anytime authorities try to set up some kind of barrier, virtually or physically, well, then the barrier becomes your story. And usually the barrier makes a much more interesting story than what you were originally trying to do. Anyway, nothing gets activists activated quite like being blocked. There's a reason why there's that verse in the Bible that says, "Rejoice when you are persecuted." See the video description on this clip for a link to nhfree.com's discussion on this issue.
Are you a liberty activist willing to be on the front line against socialism? FreeKeene.com would like you to consider moving here to Keene. While Keene may have the largest number of liberty-oriented media outlets in the entire state of New Hampshire, there's still a need for more activists. Can you help them? Visit FreeKeene.com to see what's happening. FreeKeene.com hooks you up with all the liberty media in town. Join the Keene Liberty activists and help free the beautiful city of Keene, New Hampshire from the clutches of the government. FreeKeene.com